First leg, Glen to throw first. Game on.
Duzza was unreal in seeing off Gerwyn Price this afternoon. He averaged 110. If he does that again, it'll be too much for Joe Cullen, you would think. But can he do it again is the question.
The last time Duzza averaged 110 on the Euro Tour.
140.
The next game, he ran into a 9-darter and a defeat. So we're looking to put that right. But Joe, not to be a poet, Joe has found his mojo.
While there was a sequence of 15 perfect darts from Joe Cullen in his win over Willie O'Connor, when he just burst into life after 2 legs of mediocrity. He is starting straight from the off in this one.
I was talking to Joe after that win this afternoon, and he felt that the 9 was going to go. He felt that good in that purple patch. And when he's been going for the 9 in practice in the back, he said that he's been starting on the treble 19 on dart 7, and he usually goes for 48-36 after. But for some reason, when he was on his way to the Yoki earlier, when he had a shot at it, he went to the 60, and he doesn't really know why.
Staying there, Durrant. Now he looks at the ball, is it?
130.
Yep. Utilising the bullseye to try and guarantee himself 2 darts at a double when he returns. Would have got that even if he'd hit the 25.
80.
So despite Cullen piling in the 180, it is Duzza's consistency in this opening leg that gets him the opportunity. Oh, and he busts it. Drags it into the double 16 when he was looking at its neighbour double 8.
Everybody needs good neighbours. That was a bad neighbour for Glen Durrant, a very bad neighbour. And whether you're home or away, Joe Cullen is 1-0 up.
Second leg, Joe to throw first. Game on.
Well, Joe did beat Glen on the Euro Tour early this year in Munich. In a second round game, he won it 6-5, the German Darts Grand Prix. Their 2 other meetings, both this year, because it's the first year that Glen has played PDC darts, came in floor events. Glen won them both.
Earlier in the season when Joe was struggling to keep his seeding, and he has done all year to his credit, he was getting some crazy draws. And don't get me wrong, there's no easy games, but sometimes there are easier ones than Joe had. Could have easily got
46.
Someone from the Nordic Baltic who hadn't played before, someone like that. But no, he was running into people like Duzza, who's won 3 Lakesides. Jamie Hughes, people like that. It was Jamie Hughes he disposed of yesterday rather efficiently.
Yeah. Well, Duzza is averaging 100 for the tournament, but that is obviously inflated by 110 this afternoon. It was a 93 average against Cody Harris in his opener. Drags that one down. How's he looking here? Treble 10, bullseye. Treble 14.
35.
Went for the third option.
Joe does like double 16. I'd be shocked if he didn't go for a 20.
100. Joe, you require 52.
There you go, it's right in the middle. That's all right, plenty of room.
36.
But he's invited Glen in
Glen, you require
on the irony shot.
116.
The exact same one that Joe's just hit.
Good guide. Used it.
80. Joe, you require
I think this is what we're going to see for the next potentially 10 legs. Fine
leg.
margins in this game. Joe hits, Glen does not. Glen's very good at putting in spells. He could easily be 2-0 up himself. He is not. He's going to have to put in one of those spells now if he's going to get himself back on terms.
140.
Joe is just showing no signs of letting up.
Well, he said after his win over Willie O'Connor this afternoon that he's still been winning games even though he hasn't been playing particularly well. Granted, he hasn't been winning as many games as he would like.
120.
But he's choosing to view that as a good thing. And I think that is the best way to view it.
180.
But genuinely today, we are seeing more of the Rolls-Royce Joe Cullen, which is very, very exciting.
140.
Is that the kind of car you would buy?
I would buy anything, any motor branded with Joe Cullen on it. I am that much of a fan.
123.
What colour do you think it would be?
142.
That bright Rockstar red.
Rockstar red.
142 won't go, and Joe Cullen is on quite a simple 2-dart out for a potentially 11-dart leg and a 3-0 lead with 2 breaks of throw. And Glen Durrant is on the ropes here despite averaging a ton. Oh my. Now it's just 1 dart at tops. And he takes it out anyway, and the swagger. Joe Cullen. This is proper Cullen stuff.
Little sigh of exhalation there.
Full flag,
Dodged a
Joe,
bullet.
you throw first.
What I like is that he
Game on.
didn't pause, just stayed in rhythm. And didn't let it bother him. You know, everybody misses a single now and again. It's how it affects you, how you bounce back.
38.
And the perfect way to do that is to just clean up. Now, you mentioned the Rockstar red of Joe Cullen. He's up wearing red all the time. Doesn't even have an away shirt like some dart players. But it still feels to me like
134.
Glen is wearing an away shirt. I'm still getting used to him not wearing red.
Yeah, take a little while to get used to.
57.
It's like he's transferred to a different squad. I suppose technically he has.
Well, moved to a new manufacturer, new darts and everything, new shirt. I mean, it's not stopped him throwing world-class stuff. The match play run was sensational. The victory
58.
over Michael van Gerwen. He could, now if he were to turn this around, there's a chance we could see 2 3-time world champions going at it in the final tonight.
96.
And the 3-time BDO world champion is 2 wins out of 2 against the 3-time PDC world champion. 19s.
139.
Maybe under pressure, Durrant, but he's not flustered into making a poor mathematical choice.
That's the hard way of getting to 170 from 309. And that is the hard way of getting to 130 from 310. Whatever Glen does, Joe has an answer for it right now.
100.
He's playing as well today as I've seen him since last year's match play.
Oh, another for double 5. Oh, just didn't quite give it enough.
Came out the hand late. He's trying to rescue it with a bit of shoulder and it didn't work.
2 more darts at a double for Durrant. Sticks one outside. And sticks one a long way inside. And Glen Durrant is feeling the pressure because Joe Cullen could be about to go 4-0. Nod of the head.
He's on a full flag, Joe
A
Cullen.
stride to the board and a big stride towards the semi-finals.
Game on.
Teesside 0, Yorkshire 4. Stay tuned. Don't think many people would have predicted this scoreline after 4 legs.
140.
He made the quarterfinals in Denmark, Joe Cullen. He made the quarterfinals at the German Darts Grand Prix. He has not gone any further on the European Tour this year.
Last time I remember in the semis was Graz last year.
Well, he is a regular semi-finalist on the European Tour. He was the German Darts
99.
Championship this time last year, in fact. Made the semi-finals. Semi-finalist in Graz, as you say. Loads of quarter-finals around that. He's semi-finalist in Riesa back in 2017. The problem that Joe Cullen has had, that despite his excellence in continually making quarter-finals and semi-finals on the European Tour, he has never, ever made a final.
92.
Now, he doesn't have to start thinking about that just yet. He's got to get this game won, and he knows that Glen Durrant can come from behind
91. Glen, you
to turn
require
games around, because
170.
we've seen him do it in PDC darts this year. 170 will not go. Not for Duzzer at any rate. Joe Cullen in this kind of mood could see it off.
134.
Well, Joe did hit one of these in last year's match play. It was against Gary Anderson. Not going to hit this one. He's getting to that oki very quickly.
Requires 36.
I think Joe Cullen is buzzing right now.
Why not? Best he's played this year, but Glen Durrant finds himself with a leg on the board.
I was talking to someone recently about the grip on the dart of Duzza, and somebody brought to my attention that he has a curved thumb firmly imprinted on the back of the barrel. I've been looking at other players as well. There's not many other players who have a curved thumb. Most players have a straight thumb to use it to stabilize the dart, but if you try and use a curved thumb on the barrel, it's difficult. But boy, does it work.
You get the feeling with Duzza. I mean, it's not say Dean Winstanley back in the day. He used to almost throw it with his thumb. It was lined up, and if you give it the Bob Anderson point to the board, Dean Winstanley could probably do it with his thumb, because that was literally the line of the dart. Duzza's not dissimilar. It's not quite as direct, but you do get the feeling there's a lot of, quite a bit of tension on that thumb, between the thumb and the fingers.
Yeah, I think so.
How hard he's holding the dart.
I don't think there's any tension in the hand. I think there's a real bit of pressure put on by the tip of the thumb. I know that when Gary Anderson holds the point on his dart, I think there's almost a crunch of the dart, and it corkscrews in his hand, and it's the pressure coming from the middle finger. You've just got to find, when you're practicing, something to focus on, and whether it's the pressure on the thumb or the pressure on the middle finger, it's just what works. Double top. Oh, how good is that? He is looking lethal this evening.
Absolutely.
Game on.
5 out of 8 on the doubles, averaging round about that 100 mark. This is really, really solid from Joe Cullen. And a maximum from Glen Durrant. It's his first, but 5 in the match, because Joe Cullen is he's just been better. He has outscored Duzza. He has finished better than Duzza. And Durrant is still averaging 100 himself here. And it's not bad. It's just that
40.
Joe Cullen has been better. He's been a dart ahead. He's been taking his chances.
And he did so in the first couple of legs, which have proved to be vital.
116 check out in the first leg, that 120 there.
Well, how much confidence would that 116 have given Joe in leg 1?
Just the confidence of being able to put together back-to-back performances like this. Final days of Euro Tours is where it's gone wrong for Joe Cullen in the end. He starts off brilliantly and then either falls apart in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals. Now, after a relatively poor spell of a few months where he's not been playing particularly well, for him to come here and play like this, maybe this is the time when everybody least expected it of Joe Cullen, when he was threatening to lose his place as a seeded player on the Euro Tour after an awful long time. Maybe this is the time when he could go and make his first final or win one.
Well, maybe that's one of the reasons why he's playing well, because he doesn't want to not be a seed. Sense of urgency, and it's urgency that Glen needs. And keep leaving that double 18, Glen. You aren't missing it.
But he has to try and break Cullen's throw, and he's not been able to do that all game.
121.
Not been many poor darts from Joe Cullen in this game. That was one of them.
There's not many players, when you look at this split screen, and we all focus on the right-hand side of the screen when the lads are throwing. But when it comes to Joe, I actually look at the reaction of the dart out of the right hand. And today, it's just been coming out a little bit more free. There's no shoulder engagement. I think he's thrown as well this weekend, technically, as he has in a while.
100.
It just looks so good when he's on form. That's why he just seems to cruise through games and make 99, 100 averages look like absolutely nothing. And he's got more. We've seen him. He's thrown 107 average or more on the Euro Tour a dozen times over the years.
He's playing with some freedom today. There's no major effort in this throw. I mean, with Glen,
60.
there's real purpose and thinking behind every dart, but Joe, the rhythm's there, the freedom's there.
And a 6-2 victory is right there for the taking.
94.
Because Joe Cullen should get 2 match darts when he returns. Glen Durrant needs a treble. He needs a treble to leave a finish. He needs more than that to apply any real pressure.
100.
And does are so brilliant against Gerwyn Price. He has not been poor here. He just hasn't been good enough. Against some Rolls-Royce Joe Cullen stuff. The rock star is back. He's seen off Jamie Hughes, he's seen off Willie O'Connor, and he's comfortably seen off Glen Durrant. 6-2 with another average up towards that 100 mark. Once again, Cullen is back in a Euro Tour semi-final.